Hey everyone, Dante here with the Raging Geek, and today we're doing a Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta. This is by Bandai. It's a Figurerise Standard Edition model. Take a look. So basically what I'm going to do is open this model up. I'm going to do the build. At the end I'll do some comments, review. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments. So one thing I did that I don't normally do, I sprayed a lot of the parts. I did his blue suit, I did it with a metallic blue. The white parts of his armor I sprayed with a flat white, and his hair I did with a light blue type spray. So you'll see how it comes out once the build is complete, and hopefully you like it. So let's take a look. Okay, so we finished the build. You know, this is so you get an idea of how it came out. So one of my biggest gripes with this model was the legs and the amount of gap between the legs and the rest of the body. It was a bit much, and I mean, it could just be to accommodate the highly flexible poses, but you know, it detracts from the aesthetic a bit. So that's one thing to take into account. Another thing is, if you do plan on spraying this model, make sure you don't get any spray on the moving parts, because they are very, first of all, they're very fragile in the way they feel. You know, any excessive pressure, you know, you most likely are going to get a break or tear in the plastic. And also the joints are very tight fitting out of the box, so to get paint on them, you're adding the additional stress on the joints. So if you do plan on spraying the parts on this, try to just get the you know, the exterior parts and not any of the internal moving parts or joints, because you know, I know to save time it's a lot easier to just spray the whole part sheet and not really you know, separate out the parts, but yeah, you'll probably save yourself a lot of grief if you do that first. To take a look at the finish I did on it, the metallic finish came out really nice. I like the way it came out. I'm going to do a Gundam model also with this finish, and I also have a lower grade Vegeta I'm going to do with this same blue finish. Those videos will be coming soon. Hair came out good. I mean, overall, aside from the, you know, the joints and the spacing, I mean, it's got a good aesthetic to it. It's really got a great likeness of Vegeta. So I'm kind of happy with it. The price of this was $25 or $30 in the store. I'm not too sure. I can't remember exactly, but you're looking at $25 to $30. I wouldn't pay too much more for it. I had this on the Raging Geek store for a while. It didn't sell, so after a while, after about a month, I decided to pull it and just make a video out of it, because you know, it is something I do often as far as making models, so I thought it'd be worthwhile to do it. And I am you know, a big Vegeta fan, so it's another one to add to my collection. I mean, you could really move the joints in a wide array of directions. Like I said, though, I mean, in general, this model, it feels very fragile, and you know, just be wary. I'd say especially at the shoulder points, you know, rotating them, and most especially on the hips, where the legs meet the hips. Extremely fragile, and watch out what you're doing, because you could break it. So be careful. What else? The energy blast, basically the stand he's on, to display it, you would have to basically take Vegeta off the stand, and you place the energy blast on the stand and kind of position him so he's actually you know, firing the energy blast on the stand. But to get an idea of that, here's like a picture. So you basically put the energy blast on the stand, and you just basically position Vegeta behind the energy blast, and you know, voila, he's doing his his laser cannon and Gatling gun and things like that. So it wasn't a very hard build. It was pretty quick, actually. I'd say, you know, if you really rush in doing it, you could reasonably get it done in about an hour. It was pretty, not too many curveballs as far as putting the parts in. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you could get away with doing a lot of it without even looking at the directions, I feel. But you got to be careful not to do some parts possibly in reverse. And once you get a lot of these parts in, you could be wind up having a hell of a time getting them back out. So always refer to directions, even though you could be lured into doing a lot of the parts intuitively, which you might think is intuitively, but you're actually doing it wrong. So just be mindful of that. But nice model. I wouldn't pay too much over retail for it. There's always going to be more Vegeta models, and as far as the feel of this, I mean, it's got a good look, but as far as the feel, I wish they could have done more as far as it being able to take a little bit more abuse. I mean, it just seems very fragile, and I can't seem to overemphasize that. But that's it. Hope you liked this video. Another close-up of Vegeta. Vegeta will always be the king of all Saiyans, or you want to say prince of all Saiyans, but he might as well be the king. And that's it. Stay tuned. I got more Vegeta, more Gundam, more everything. I actually got a Bandai Boba Fett I'm going to do. I'm like going Boba Fett crazy now ever since the latest Mandalorian, where he made that spectacular, epic return. I mean, he couldn't have a better entrance than that, and reappearance. So I thought that was great, and I got a ton of Boba Fett stuff, and I got a Bandai model that I'm going to do for you guys. So hopefully you get to check that out. And that's it. Thanks for watching The Raging Geek. Hope you liked it. We will see you soon. Take care.
Raging Geek, Retro, all things geek, where geeks can be geeks. Raging Geek, Retro, all things geek, where geeks can be geeks.